kisses on the door.
Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Most of you guys might be thinking that maybe I had stopped doing YouTube on this channel, just the fact that I haven't uploaded in a month, and I am really sorry for that. I had a cold, I have a lot of stuff going on at school at the minute, so I haven't really been able to have the chance to upload any YouTube videos, but I am back today with it's not a series. I want to do kind of different clubs in the BPL as well as the club I'm doing today. I started today because obviously if you go in alphabetical order in the league, Arsenal do come first. So what I'm going to be doing is a FIFA 17 predicted player rating kind of video. So basically I'm going to be predicting the players overalls from each team, what rating I reckon they'll be next year. I'm not doing every single player because the video would be so long and it would be kind of pointless. So what I'm doing is a few players that kind of first team players and a few players that I've played for the team this season that have done really well, and obviously I'm probably going to get upgrades next year. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get into it. Alright guys, I'm going to go in position order as well. So first up is Petr Cech. I gave him a +1 overall for FIFA 17. I think it's his first season at Arsenal this year. If it is, he's done really well. Arsenal were title challengers up until now. Obviously, it's typical Arsenal, they blow right at the last moment. But nevertheless, Petr Cech has been consistent for Arsenal this season. I do think he is probably, if not the second best goalie in the world. Maybe, he's definitely in the top 5. But I don't know if he's second top best in the world, but he is such a good player, and I reckon he'll be 88 rated in FIFA 17. Next guys, we're moving on to Ospina, who basically the little dash means the same overall, but they're not going up, not going down. I gave him that because obviously he's played for Arsenal when Cech hasn't been available to play. He is a good goalie, but I wouldn't say good enough to get an upgrade in FIFA 17, or he's definitely not going to get a downgrade because he's not a bad keeper either. So I've gave him the overall that he'll stay at, that he had on FIFA 16. Next player guys, now we move on to the defenders, and first up is Hector Bellerin. I gave him a +1. I know he got an upgrade in the January upgrades, but he has actually been really good for us this year. I do think he's probably the next big Spanish right back, probably him and Mario Gaspar, and obviously Carvajal from Real Madrid. But I do think he's going to be a top quality player once he gets a bit older. I know he's quite young at the minute, but once he hits like 23, 24 age, I do reckon he's going to be such a good right back for Arsenal or wherever he's playing then, because I don't think he'll be at Arsenal for his whole career, just the fact that his ability. But yeah guys, next we move on to Gabriel. Again, I've kept him at the same overall. He's been alright for Arsenal this year. He's made a few mistakes and whatnot, especially against the game against West Ham recently. He was really poor against Andy Carroll of all people as well. But he hasn't been like poor to get a downgrade, and he hasn't been like amazing to get an upgrade, so I kept him at the same. Next up guys is Mertesacker, and 1 or 2 people may disagree, especially if you're an Arsenal fan, but I gave him a -1 for next year FIFA 17. He is a good defender, but I wouldn't say he's one of the best defenders out there, and he's kind of clumsy at times, but then again he can also be really good for Arsenal. So I don't know, at FIFA 17, 83 is a bit of a high overall for a defender who can be kind of clumsy at times. So I don't know, I gave him an 82 rated FIFA 17. Let me know down below if you agree with these, and if you don't. Some of you are not going to agree, I know. So yeah guys, let's move on to the next page. Okay guys, now one more defender left, and then we move on to the midfield. The last defender is Laurent Koscielny. He's always been a good player for Arsenal in theory, and he's been exceptionally good this year. Again, he's got loads of informs on FIFA, and them informs have been absolutely crazy. So I gave him a +1 overall for FIFA 17, because I believe that in the future, especially like coming in the next few seasons, I do think Koscielny might leave Arsenal for a big club such as Barcelona and Real Madrid, because he is a good defender, and if Arsenal keep coming 3rd and 4th every year, I really reckon he's going to want to leave. And I don't know, I swear he's been captain for Arsenal a few times this year, but nevertheless I do think he is a good player, and soon he will be getting too good for Arsenal in my opinion. But next up guys is Monreal, and I gave him a +1. I know that sounds weird because obviously Monreal is kind of a player who's kind of a quiet player at Arsenal. He's getting on in age, but with Kieran Gibbs getting injured for Arsenal, Monreal's actually been really good from this season in replacement for him. I don't know if Gibbs is back now, actually. He might be back, I'm not too sure, but Monreal's had, when he's played, he's been consistent and he's been pretty good. And yeah, guys, I think he deserves an upgrade in the next FIFA. Next up, guys, we move on to Coquelin, the first midfielder of this Arsenal episode. I gave him a +1 also, again, going up. He's a very young, talented player at Arsenal, and he's really been coming on the past 2 seasons, and I really reckon it's time for FIFA to just give him the 80 rated card, because he's been like kind of around the high silvers, low gold rating kind of rating, so I think it's time for EA to finally give him the 80 rated card, and in FIFA 17 I really reckon he will go up in rating. Next up, guys, is Flamini, again, another player who's he's one of them players for Arsenal who plays when he's needed. He's an older player, obviously, compared to the likes of Coquelin, Wilshere and all that. So he plays when he's needed, when there's injuries. He's a consistent player for Arsenal, but like I said with the other people, I don't think he's good enough to go up in rating, but he's not poor to go down in rating, if you know what I mean. So I kept him at the same rating. But next, guys, we move on to El Nene, who, when he signed for Arsenal, I didn't think he would play at all, really, for at least a good season. But due to Arsenal's injuries and when they played him, he played well. El Nene's actually not a first teamer, but he's actually been playing a lot of games for Arsenal just late towards the end of the season now. And I think on FIFA he'll get close to getting a goal rate card, because when he played, he scored that banger in the newer camp for Arsenal to put them in the lead when they went there. And also, he's just been a consistent player in CDM for Arsenal, because obviously they have quite a few injuries. They always have quite a few injuries, Arsenal, in their seasons, but especially, like, no one had heard of him before he came to Arsenal. Obviously, I didn't think he'd get played, and probably other people didn't think either, but I do think he'll get quite a hefty upgrade for FIFA 17. Alright, guys, we move on to some more midfielders, more attacking midfielders now. Up first is Jack Wilshere. He's been out injured for, like, literally 3/4 of the season. This is like the story of his life, pretty much, though. And I didn't give him an upgrade or a downgrade. I kept it the same rating, because I think it's a bit harsh that EA would give him a downgrade for being injured, considering it's not really his fault. So I don't think EA would give him a downgrade, but obviously they're not going to give him an upgrade either, because he's done nothing this season. He's just sat in a hospital bed and watched Arsenal play. But up next, guys, is going to be Santi Cazorla. I gave him a -2 because I don't think he's been that good at all for Arsenal this season. Like, other players have really pulled into the title charge now. Obviously, they've lost it, but nevertheless, other players have really got involved. Santi Cazorla, I think, got injured. I'm not too sure, but he hasn't really been the sort of player that he's been for Arsenal over the past few years. He's always there when he obviously needed a penalty or needed a free kick or just needed a goal in general. And Cazorla would be your man to assist someone. But whether or not it's because Ozil has really played well this season, has really, like, picked up the pace in the Premier League now, whether or not he's kind of been pushed out of the squad for Ozil to be Arsenal's main man. But speaking of Ozil, we move on to Ozil now. I gave him a +1 upgrade to an 89 rated cam, because in my opinion, Ozil was one of the best cams in the world, especially this season. It took him a while to get used to BPL football, but now, seeing how he's played this season, I really do think next season he's going to be even better. And I really think he deserves an 89 rated card on FIFA 17, because he deserves to be up there with all the best cams really on FIFA and in real life. So yeah, guys, I think he'll get an 89 rated card. Okay, I'm going to do these two at once. Joel Campbell and Oxlade-Chamberlain, I kept them at the same overall because both of them have been in and out of the Arsenal team this season. Joel Campbell lately has been doing really well, so, and I made this video before that. I made this video quite a while ago, so I don't know. Joel Campbell's an iffy one. He might get maybe a +1 upgrade next season. The fact that when he's played for Arsenal, he's actually scored and he's done well. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, it's been the same for the last 2 seasons really for him. He's been in and out of the Arsenal team. He plays well when he plays, but not anything to catch your eye kind of thing. So I do think these two will stay the same rating next year on FIFA. Alright, guys, up next, and I know the one in the middle you're probably thinking, what the actual fuck? But let me start off with Walcott on Sanchez. Basically, guys, Walcott, again, is like Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's that sort of player for Arsenal. Gets injured, comes into the team, kind of goes onto the bench, gets injured again. It's kind of really repetitive with both of them. And obviously on FIFA they're not going to give him a downgrade for injuries and whatnot like that. So I reckon Walcott's going to stay the same. Sanchez hasn't had an amazing season. He's had a good season for Arsenal as always, but he hasn't had an amazing season where I really reckon Arsenal fans want to see him get like 20+ league goals a season. Him and Giroud banging the goals will really make Arsenal probably a title winner if they could do that. But the thing is, they can't seem to do that together. It's either Giroud scoring the goals or Sanchez scoring the goals. And I don't think Sanchez is worthy of that 87 upgrade yet. I reckon next season in FIFA 17, if he has a good first off season, he'll get a January upgrade to maybe 87, 88. But we'll have to see. But next, guys, the only thing I want to play is Iwobi. I know you're thinking, oh, well, yeah, he's only played a few games for Arsenal, but the few games he has played, he's been absolutely outstanding for Arsenal, and I really reckon he is the next big thing. And by the way, I actually thought he was Nigerian, but his FIFA card says he's British, so I don't really know on that one. But he's been absolutely amazing when he's played for Arsenal well, not this season, in the last few games, because he hasn't really played this season. I know, like, +9 upgrade is a massive upgrade, and I don't know whether EA will give him that. There's just what I reckon he might get around. And by the way, guys, I think I might have done a stupid thing. I don't know whether a 64 rated player is a bronze, and I've made him a silver. So that's my bad if that is a bronze, and I've made him a silver. But nevertheless, I reckon he might peak into the silver card next season. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, guys. Okay, up next, guys, Olivier Giroud. I know he scored loads of goals for Arsenal this season, but I don't think he's an 83 par rated striker. I do 82 is a good rating for Giroud, even though I know he's played well this season. But lately he's been on the bench for Arsenal, and I don't really think he's that good enough to really give him that 83, 84 rated card yet on FIFA, especially FIFA 17 coming up. And I don't know, guys, that's the iffy one for me. I'm not 100% sure. But we move on to Welbeck, and I gave him a +1 upgrade because everyone takes the piss out of this guy. And yeah, he went through a bit of a rough patch, playing in really poor form, but he's actually been class since he's played for Arsenal this season. Came back from injury and he's done really well. I do reckon he deserves an 80 rated card on FIFA, and that card would actually be filthy to play with. It'd be literally like the Cameron Jerome, but better on FIFA 17. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I do apologise again for not uploading for a month. I am really busy at the minute, so I know I wasn't really consistent before, but just bear with the uploads, and summer's coming soon, so there'll be a lot more stuff to be uploaded to the channel. And yeah, guys, I'll speak to you guys in a bit.